Hi everyone, today we're going to learn how to take our files from Inkscape to the laser engraver. To do that, save all your Inkscape files to the flash drive. Take the flash drive to the computer next to the laser engraver, plug it in. When you do, a screen is going to pop up with your files on it. We want to go down to the bottom here and find the Inkscape icon and open that. It's like a little mountain with ink coming out of it. And then go to File, Open, and then go find your thumb drive, and inside your thumb drive where your file is. So for me, mine is in this computer stand folder or computer placard folder, and then double click and open it. This is the file that I want to print out. I've got all my cut lines and my engravings all ready to go. The first step we want to do is make sure everything is totally ungrouped at this point. So highlight everything and then do Control-Shift-G over and over again until down here at the bottom it says no more things to ungroup. If you send something grouped to the laser, sometimes it fails to print. So we want to make sure we do that. Now, if you're making one of these computer stands, I actually want you to make a change right now. I want to change all these black rectangles to green rectangles because what I found is we need a deeper engrave. So I created a new engraving color for green. It's a deeper engrave than the black is. So go to stroke paint, change everything to 255 that you need to change. There should be nothing but green all the way around, and change the fill as well. For me, I didn't have a stroke around them. If you do have a stroke and a fill around them, you've got to change both to green. For me, I just had fills, so I really just need to change the fills here real quick. So I'm going to change them all to 0, 255, 0. Remember, any number other than 255 isn't the right green, and the laser will just ignore it completely. Awesome. So now that's all set up. I'm ready to send this to the laser. To do that, I'm going to go up to File and Print. And from the printer list, I'm going to choose the one that says Trotec Engraver, and I'm going to click Print. When I do that and click Print, it's going to bring up a program called Job Control. This is what actually controls the laser. Down at the bottom here, you see this glowing orange thing. That's what I'm clicking on. That's Job Control. On the right-hand side are where new jobs come in. I accidentally have an old job, so I'm going to delete it real quick, but you should probably just have one job there. That's the information side there, and we're going to take that and put it on the middle section, which is the engraving bed for the laser. Okay. So once I have it there, I can go up to the top here, and we're going to click on the What You See Is What You Get button. WYSIWYG is what it's referred to as, and that just shows you kind of what it's going to cut. Then over here on the left is an information screen that gives you information about how long everything is going to take. If I click on my object, you can see it makes an estimate right now of how long it will take. These are notoriously wrong. So at the bottom, I'm going to go down and click on the Update button, and now these will be accurate numbers. If I take a look at this, so the black one is the engrave one. So it's going to take us about 30 seconds to engrave. It's going to take us a few minutes for the red, which is the cutting one. And it's going to take about 5 or 6 minutes for the green engrave because it's a much deeper engrave, so it goes slower. What we're looking for here is those things should have numbers next to them, unless you have no green in your drawing, which most of you won't. But the red and the black should have numbers. If they don't, it means you use the wrong red or black. At this point, we're ready to connect to the laser, but before we do that, let's turn our laser on. Turning on the laser cutter, we come over here to the side. There's a power strip. The green button turns it on. That turns on the exhaust in the back, as well as the laser cutter itself. The first thing the laser cutter does is it drops the bed all the way down to the bottom, and it takes the cutting head, the laser head, and runs it to the top left of the machine. That'll take a minute or two for that to happen. When it's done, it will beep, and it'll just sit here now. At this point, we can actually connect it to the computer. Before we do that, let's load it with some plywood. What I'm cutting right now is plywood that is about this size, so I'm doing something small. I don't need a whole sheet. I'm going to open up the lid. I'm going to place it in the top left-hand corner, and I'm going to give the metal honeycomb that it's on a little shake to make sure it's in place. If it moves around a bunch and wobbles, it needs to be moved around until it falls into place. It should be sitting firmly inside some rails down there. All right, now I'm going to close the lid back up. I'm going to move the laser to the right a little bit. And then I'm going to push both these black up, down buttons. I'm going to push them at the same time and just push them once and let go. That's going to raise the bed up to the exact right height that the laser needs to cut at. So it's adjusting the focal length right now. And it'll take just a second for the laser to get all the way up there. When it gets about most of the way up, we'll start seeing a red dot. That red dot isn't the cutting laser, it's just a red laser dot there to help you see what the laser's pointing at. So that roughly tells you what where the laser's at. Now I'm going to use the up, down, left, or the forward, back, left, right keys here. These will move the laser in those directions. So I'm going to move it to the top left corner. I don't want to get too far into the corner because I don't want to cut the edge and get off the piece of plywood. At this point, we're going to head back to the computer and it's ready to start doing its cutting. So I've got the head positioned in the top left corner, about, I don't know, yay-ish from the outer edge on the top and side. And from there, we can do the rest on the computer. Now we're back to the computer. We're going to connect to the laser. So this little USB looking thing will connect us to the computer, the laser. It'll go through some checks to get kind of connected and communicating with the laser. It'll take just a few seconds to do that. And now it's connected. You can see that there's a crosshair up here. If we actually move the laser head using the buttons on the laser, we move it to the right a little bit, you can see on the screen it shows you where the laser head is on your where it's located. Now we need to move our cut to be with the laser head. So I'm going to move off the project off to the side. Now drag it back towards the laser head and it will snap right to that crosshair. Let go of it and now it's perfectly positioned to cut on the piece of plywood that you have in there. Once that's done, you are just ready to cut. Before I do that, I like to hit update here and make sure these numbers still are good. And then just go over here to hit play. It's going to tell you that there's no exhaust. You want to say, okay, I get it. The exhaust here isn't built into the machine, so the software has no idea whether it's on or not. It's just warning you that it doesn't know if it's on. But we know it's on because it's plugged into our thing. Now, the next thing we're going to take a look at here is just the laser cutting. So as it works down, you can see how it's working down, and the blue line showing you where the laser is as it goes down and engraves. And that's it. We're just now waiting for it to get done. Great job, and I look forward to seeing your projects.